How's it going, everybody? I'll let this update and come on. What is annoying now is when I go live this way, it does this. There we go. Fix that. Hello, hello, hello. It's alive. Is that what I am, though? I feel dead after some days this week. This week has been, well, you could turn it up. Like, your Discord volume might be louder. I'll move the mic a little bit closer to my face. I haven't really started talking loud yet, so I'm just waiting for what's up. Waiting for everything to kick on. I think in the next couple of days I'm going to have an intro so it can go live and it can kind of sit there for a second and let people log on, and then I can go from there. The wife had to run out, so if the kids start hollering, per the usual, I will have to hop up and run upstairs. However, thankfully, they've been going down pretty good, so I shouldn't be gone long if that happens. I hope y'all had a good day. FOMC was crazy. I overtraded some. I'll get into it shortly. Traded really well today. Had a really good day. I'm having a great... I was not having a great month. Now I am having a great month. Just this last 7 days. And it really reminds me how important it is to stay... Good, I'm glad you're a nice green, CT. Reminds me how important it is to stay emotionally and psychologically healthy through the chop, so that when you get moves like this at the end of the month, and usually July is a rally month, this month everything was selling off, so having that is just such a strength. And so some of the next shows that we do are going to kind of be dedicated to trading when it's hard, and really focused on that. So here's the trick. Well, we'll get into it and hang out. We'll talk about what the trick is and what you need to be doing right now. Right now, what you need to be doing when there are moves to be made to prepare yourself for what is coming, maybe next week, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month. We don't know what the future holds. All we do know is the market is going to be crappy for a little bit at some point. We're going to have crappy days. And what you do right now when you can make money, and when you are making money, like Peacock today, he was down 20K, came back 20K. There are days in the market when that is not going to be possible. And so you need to trade now and find ways to trade right now to allow yourself to not have that happen when you can't make it back and when the trades aren't there. And you need to be creating good habits when it is a good day and when there are good days, so when the bad days come, those good habits will be enforced. If when it's easy trading, you make bad habits and you start creating bad habits, you're just going to revert. So we're going to talk about that. And before I get into the spiel, I'm Gator. I'm not a professional. I'm not offering you stock picks or investment advice. Anything that I say today, you should take it and throw it out, or do whatever you want with it, but you're responsible for anything you do with the stupid things that come out of my mouth. Welcome to my show, and we are going to walk our way through the swamp, which is the market, and I will help you navigate it. I've got to work on that intro, guys. Really got to work on that intro. One day, I'll figure it out. One day in the not too distant future, I'll sit down and write something, or someone will. Let's see. So, good habits. Let's talk about the day a little bit. Let's go to the 4-chart setup that we have. If you have questions, throw them in Discord, throw them in YouTube. I'm looking. I can answer questions about the day, about different things. The first thing I want to look at today is not Google, although we're going to watch some trades. We're going to do a few trade reviews. is Tesla. If you guys were hanging out early, you heard me say wait for something. Who remembers what I said to wait to when the market opened? Here we go. Sorry, give me a second. I do have to refine my spiel. So in Tesla this morning, here's what I look for. And I want to say this because some people, I think, bent into Tesla when it wasn't necessarily time to bend into Tesla. So Tesla gapped up a little bit, but it didn't instantly pop. And the market was pulling, it was kind of short. When this happens, what I do is I tell myself, I'm going to miss the trade, or I'm going to miss the breakout and play the breakout, or I'm going to wait for the moving average, and I'll buy the first break after it hits a moving average. This is what I do roughly 100% of the time. So I did take a Tesla trade here because that was a 1 minute breakout. And I tested a contract when this started going up, and I made just a little bit on it. And I tested a couple different contracts in this range. And at this point, I said, hey, wait for the 8 to hit. If you record, you can go back and listen to whenever I said that. And then it comes down here, it hits the 8, I buy off the 8. Usually when I get a gap up, and let me move this out of the way so you can only see the desktop and not me. And you got these moving averages coming up to it. The first 1 minute breakout I look for, I will sometimes try the Mark 1, and I usually buy it somewhere in the middle, is I look for the 8 test, and that's when I look to buy it. So it hits the 8. As soon as it pulls off the 8, I buy it somewhere in here. Like, I'm not waiting for it to come up. It tags the 8, it sits still for a second, and then I'm usually buying, and that's my entry point when I'm playing a gap up that's pulling down. And I'm not necessarily holding for day highs. I'm just taking a quick scalp, and then I'm going to wait and see what happens and see if it runs up, if it pulls back down. It obviously pulled back down, and then I was like, nope, I'm done. Yep. Yeah. Thanks. So that's what I look for most of the time in names that gap up and pull down. I'm waiting for a test, and it's not overly hard. Sometimes it's a 2 minute test. Sometimes it's a 1. Another random thing I didn't talk about in my other video just because you guys are here is if you go to time frames and you click on the drop down for time frames and edit time frame selection settings, you can choose the like 5 minute, 15 minute, a tick, like every tick, 1 minute, 2 minute, hourly. So you can actually pick the ones that you want here, like 1 minute, 2 minute, 5, 15. Just a random little extra tidbit. Also, guys, if you like these shows, say it's now where people are on. If you like this, please subscribe. You can share it, like the video. I really appreciate it if you do that. It helps me out. Lets me know that this is what you like, etc., all that fun stuff. So if you do get an opportunity, you can drop a like. I'd appreciate it. So that was just a little quick what I look for in Tesla. Don't remember what I did for the rest of Tesla. I don't think I traded it too much. Maybe I caught some and lost some, but I'm pretty sure I left it alone. I know I was up all day today, partially because I was very selective in my trades, and this is what I'm going to get to with forming good habits, but I want to talk about a few things, and I want to show a Google trade, and then I want to show a few other things, and then we're going to talk about the psychology of finding a setup and trading like a hunter or a gator. How do gators hunt? And this is actually part of the reason, other than the Will Ferrell movie where he said, Gator, don't play that, and the Florida Gators football team I like and other stuff, is I like to be cautious, and I want to, instead of running out and as soon as the market opens, just spraying and praying at every single, possible setup that could be coming, I like to pick something that I want, and I like to locate that something and be like, okay, I'm looking for this to happen, and that's going to be my trade. I'm waiting for this. And I don't care if other stuff happens because my OODA loop's going. So I'm going through the whole orientation to the market, what's going on. Market's going down. It's kind of choppy on the way down. I don't really want to short this. It's a gap up. I'm going to wait. I'm looking for an 8 test. Let's see what's up. So here is what I did when I did that. So I took that Tesla trade, and then I was watching, and I was like, Google. Let's check the stochastics. Let's check all that per last video if you're wondering what I'm talking about. I'm sure I'm going to mention it, but here's the video. You can see I edited. I'll move my face out of the way. So I kind of changed some of this, but I didn't realize I zoomed this in too much, so you can't see, sadly, where the 2-minute stochastic's at. I'm sorry. I'll fix that for the next video. You can see the 1 minute a little bit better, but I'm going to have to change that a little bit too. Sorry, I'm still kind of messing around with this. So I'll edit those tonight or in the morning to where you can see it a little bit better for Friday's show. I will not have a show tomorrow night. So what I looked at here was the market was selling off. I talk about when you're using the stochastic play, you want to have a level. Like the market's just going down. The time right now is 9:45. You can see I had another loss in Google here. The loss in Google, what was that? About a point, 70 cents. I had gotten good PI on these contracts, so I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I think I took these when it hit the 8 instead of the 21. So I tried it there. It didn't work. And then I looked at a 5-minute chart. I looked at a 2-minute chart, and I looked at the Qs. What I saw was the Qs were pulling down. They had been pulling down for a while, for roughly 15 minutes now, and it was all chop. I had made a few trades at this point, but I really hadn't made much, and I was up $2,000 or something like that. Qs hit support. R1, not pivot. Hit a pivot line. The pivot line was R1. Google is coming down. It's hit the 2-minute 21. It's at the 5-minute 200. So you have some kind of support there. It's been 15 minutes, and the Qs are just slowly ticking down. At some point, I'm expecting a bounce. I'm pretty sure that Geronimo talked about that bounce. So how do you time the bounce? How do you know when it's going to happen? If it would have happened up here, I would have missed it. And I would have been okay with that, because then I would have had other trades to take. So my trick has been not focusing on and not trying to catch every trade early or make sure I get it, but have something in mind I'm looking for. And if I'm wrong, who cares? But I'm trading with the purpose of, like, this is what I want to have happen. Oh, this is happening. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, I like this setup now. This is setting up right. So the 2-minute stochastics were actually curling sideways. Sorry, you can't see them. The Qs were hitting R1. Google was hitting multiple moving averages, and Geronimo talked about it, and I had looked at it, and I thought it was time for an entry. So I pull up my level 2, I'm sorry, I pull up my option contract. I get ready to buy 5. I'm watching the Qs, and this is what I'm watching. Not really Google, more the triple Qs for an entry level. And I'm just waiting to see what it wants to do, if it wants to hold this R1 or get rejected. And let's just wait and see what happens. So it pulled down, it stopped, it started popping up. I'm like, okay, Google's kind of going up a little bit here. You can see a little bit of green. This is printing higher over here. We have this little hammer, and I bought. You can see where I bought. I got filled at a mid strike. There's like a $5, spread. I don't really care. I trust the price improvement. I've tested it, and I trust this strategy, and I trust this level. So I buy in. You saw when I bought in. I am now pretty much guaranteed a win on this trade because of the time of when I got it. The 1-minute stochastic on Google was crossing up when I entered. You saw that. Google hit moving averages on the 1. It hit all this. And now I'm in. At this point, I could sell with about 100%. I'm going to win because the bid is at 59. Or the bid is at 50.90. I got in at 50.78. Even with no price improvement, I win. The ask is at 5.6. So I've got a $5 or $6 window I could win in. But I'm expecting a little bit of bounce. Why? Well, okay, so something bounced, and in the Google strategy, if you're having a hard time trading, the trick would be to have already sold. You should not be holding this. The reason I'm doing it is it's how I play the strategy. It's what I do. I'm letting the strategy play out and develop. And I'm okay with that, and there's no toxicity in it because that's my plan. It's to let it pop here. It's probably going to do a little bit more, so I have a target in mind. It doesn't matter to me if it hits that target, but I'm looking, where could Google go to? Where could the Qs go to? They have what I think is VWAP right above them. So I'm like, okay, I think it's going to pop up to that moving average. I believe it's VWAP. It is VWAP. So I'm like, okay, my target is the Qs are probably going to hit VWAP and then roll over if they want to go lower. Google might do the same thing. So at this point, I got in at 50. The bid is at 54.10. You have a 5-minute breakout that's going through, and in Google you also have a 2-minute green takes red that's going through. I'm pretty sure I sell here to lock it in because it's early in the day. We'll see. I don't remember the exact time that I'm saying, but this is what I'm looking at, and this is what I'm thinking through when I take this trade. And this is why I'm still in the trade. I'm not toxic on the trade. I'm not trying to catch a 10-point runner, although I'm going to show you me catching a 10-point runner later in the day. This is just me looking for this. And now I sell here. I sold. That's a 5-point. Because it started ticking down, it's early in the day. The Qs have been overly weak. So the trend is negative. The trend is not positive. If this was an overall upward trend, I probably would have held this Google longer. But I was up 5 points, so I just took the money. Even though I'm pretty sure Google does do what I thought it was going to do if I let this play out, and it does actually go up and end up hitting VWAP. A second thing about this strategy I want to bring up really quick is I tested it a few times today. When you bend into this strategy, you lose. Roughly 70% of the time, if you chase or bend, you lose. Please know that. You cannot get out, see it going back up, and consistently win. Because of the spreads, because of price improvement, because of how much they move and don't move, and when you need to enter. If you miss a move, you miss a move, and you wait for the next one. I only took 5 contracts there. I wasn't going heavy. Most of the day I did 10 with these after I kind of saw this one work, and I did some other ones when I was trading it with the Qs setting up and with Google setting up. I would generally do 5 and 5. So I'd mark it in 5. If I got good fills, I'd mark it in 5 more. You can do limits. You can do whatever you want to. It's just my strategy. I'm confident with marketing in. I like Fidelity. I like their fills. It doesn't scare me to market in a $5 spread in Google. If it does scare you, don't do it. Find another way to enter. Use limits. Trade a contract that's more out of the money. Something like that. So either way, that is pretty much like that happened. I kind of set my day up. And this brings me to what I want to talk about overall from the psychology side of things right now. I'm blocking the Discord chat. So, so I had something I was looking for. I was not just Ramboing everything, being like, why isn't it breaking out? Why isn't everything doing it? I'm just going to short everything or something. Because there wasn't a good trade. And it happened later in the day. If I can actually pull up my charts in Google. And this is when I tested, like, okay, I wonder if you can just get in. I need to go to the stochastic setup, sorry. You have to be able to practice leaving things alone, being at the market and having something that you're looking for. You need to have a strategy that you're trying to find. If you're just sitting here watching things move and watching contract prices go up and contract prices go down, you're probably going to be prone to exhaustion and eventually succumbing and just getting wrecked. Because you're going to start giving away your day. You're going to start trading and taking setups that aren't good setups. You're going to start looking for things and be like, oh, well, it's been going up for the last whatever, so I'm just going to jump in now and take some money, and I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to hold these things longer because the moves are slower. And you start succumbing to, like, not good trading conditions. The trick is And the trick for me has been, when I'm sitting here, I make sure I'm looking for something. I'm not just looking to trade. I'm not just looking to catch money or to make money. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm at the computer. What am I doing here? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to locate? I'm trying to be smart and find a good trade. We say that all the time, but we don't always talk about what it practically means to, sorry, I forgot to put something there. What it practically means to trade intelligently or to look for good trades. I'm losing my train of thought, but what I'm trying to say is you have to be doing something. You can't just be not doing anything. You need to be looking for something to trade. You're like, well, I'm looking for this. Okay, Google is trending up, Amazon is trending down, the Qs are doing this. What am I looking for to happen that would give me a good trade? And maybe this thing doesn't happen for 15, 20 minutes. Like maybe a lot of the move happens without you. Am I looking for an hourly pivot? Am I looking for a 15-minute pivot? Am I looking for a rejection of, am I looking for a rejection of a certain level? It looks like it's going up, but it's just chopping up. This is really hard to trade. What could I do to get a good entry? Like, what am I looking for? And I start, instead of just sitting there aimlessly trying to jump in 1 minute, 2 minute breakouts, I start actually trying to locate something on the charts that is allowing me to win. And that's allowing me to get an edge or to actually find a trade that I like. And it's not bending. I'm not just jumping in something because, oh, there's something here. I'm trying to look at the market as a whole, take in what's happening, and say, okay, this name looks like it, like Google, Amazon, all names we can make money in, Tesla. What do I want to have happen before I trade that again? Do I want, and Mark used to do this, I'm not trading until I get another 2-minute red bar, and I'm going to buy the break of that 2-minute red bar. Okay. If I'm trading Tesla, where's Tesla? 2-minute chart down here, which my face is in the way. 2-minute chart. Red bar. Would that have worked today? So maybe if it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30, I'm like, well, it's really been choppy. It's not above the highs or the lows. Maybe I am going to wait for a red bar, and I'm just going to buy the next breakout because you've seen a few that's kind of worked. Or you've seen some that haven't worked. You're like, nah, I don't really like that. That strategy's not working. I'm going to wait for it to hit this moving average, and then I'm going to try to take it. And you find something that you know has worked because you've seen it happen in the past, or you're listening to Geronimo and he's talking about different levels, and like, okay, I'm going to wait for that level to hit or that level to fail, and I'm going to try to trade that. And practicing good habits and actually being selective in your trades and not just throwing money at things that might or might not work because you're going to move in one or two directions has helped me and is helping me trade smart and trade like, you know what, even if it was a bad day today, looking back, I really like the trades I took. You know, the losses I took, I really liked them because I was looking for something that happened, and then I took the trades and it worked. So I have started trying to adapt my mindset while I'm trading to the mindset of being selective the longer I sit there. And it forces me to actually wait, to not bend, and to not overtrade because the trade is breaking the rules. A good example of that today, and I'm just using Google because I traded it a lot, was here. What time frame is this? Let's see. We are looking at, yeah, this was actually about the time I think that it was happening. So what we have here in Google is, let me go desktop only. I might have taken this trade. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. It doesn't really matter. It then goes back down. This is 1 minute chart. The stochastics did not set up down here below the 2 minute or below the 20%. So I don't think I took this trade. It came up, it went down to here. The stochastic still did not go down to here, so I did not take this trade. The stochastics went all the way up here, and look at all this chop in here. And I did not take those trades. It then rolled over. So overall, this move is trending up. So I'm not personally looking to short it, because I think at the same time the Qs were going up. So even though it's here at, this was the day open, you could have looked for a short here, but you would have probably got shaken out. It wouldn't have been a bad trade if you took a short there, whether or not you lost. More than likely, you would have broken even. And about halfway through this down move, unless you were green, you should have known to get out. Because the trick is, if you're in a trade and it's not moving down, the stochastics are almost all the way at the bottom, your likelihood of losing has just gone up a lot. And I actually, thinking about it, I think I lost on this trade, on this chart here, because I probably did short it here. And there's a few things going against you. One, the Qs were in an uptrend here, I think. Yeah, they were. The Qs were in an uptrend. You're above VWAP. You do break down, so it's not a bad entry, but the fact is you hold it and it doesn't go for 3 or 4 candles, you should probably get out of the trade, because it's, more than likely going to go in the other direction. So it does. I didn't turn around and trade it long, but this would have been the only good entry. So if I had have just waited, and I might have, but if you just waited and you're like, hey, what about here? So let's look at the 2-minute chart really quick. Could I have taken this trade? No, I couldn't. Per this strategy. Only per this strategy, remember? So the reason I could not take this trade, whether or not I did, if I'm looking at the 2-minute chart here, is because on the 2-minute chart, the stochastics are not down below the 20% line. Look at them. They're up here in the middle. If it's up here in the middle, I don't take the trade. I'm not saying you can't take the trade. I'm not saying it wouldn't work. What I'm saying is that that's not this strategy, and your winning percentage goes down, and it's a much choppier move because the 2-minute and the 1-minute don't line up. I did this today and actually lost when I was trading things that when it was not perfectly lining up. My winning percentage went down massively. So when could I have taken a trade to the long side? It's above VWAP, it's trending up, it's basically hitting the 21 and bouncing. So you could have played it off the 21 and done all that, but that's not the purpose of this strategy. Let's see, when does it match up? Nope, not there. Look at the 2 charts right here. So in here would have been, which is also a 2-minute 21. So there's your support to the upside. And I know I took this trade. So here, this would have been the only time I could have actually taken the trade, was in here. When it popped, the 2-minute started curling up. You had a 2-minute, it hit the 21, so you've got some support. You probably get chopped around here. Me personally, I probably hold it because it's curling up. It kind of goes up. It starts going up, and then you could catch this bounce, or you could catch some of this bounce on the 2-minute chart if you let a few play out, or you could kind of scalp this. This was at 12 and 12.14, 12.15. Because I had to wait for the stochastics to come down here at the bottom. What am I looking for the next time? We're still in an uptrend, and I don't think the Qs were nearing any pivotal level. So you're basically just waiting for it to set up again. And it comes down to the 21, and if you're just playing a 21 break, you could have took it here when it hit the 1-minute 21 and gone higher. I don't think I did, because again, I was waiting for a specific setup. I'm waiting for something very particular, and I'm training myself to be okay with missing moves, because I'm waiting for the move I want to trade. Not just any move that's happening, not just anything that's going on in the market. I want something specific. In this particular name, it is the stochastics over the 80 if I'm going short, with a level that it's hitting that I'm going to short off of, and blow it if it's the other way around, like that last 2-minute 21. So here, this is when Geronimo called a short. This was at 12:46, and I feel like I caught this move. I could go to my video really quick. Let's see. Let me see if I... Oops. I hate it when it does that. Give me 1 second. What was today? 126. Ah, here we go. Let's see. This was at 12:46. So Geronimo had called a top. He said, hey, this is a big hourly pivot in the Qs. They could roll over here. Like, so I'm using overall market kind of indicators, kind of looking at everything and saying, hey, Qs might have hit some resistance. There's a pivot here. You know, there's something. This might not. What is going on? Sorry, my charts are, or my recording was messed up. This is at 12:47. $36.47. There we go. Am I taking? Give me one. I'm trying to find the timestamp. So I got to do this before I start the show, so I'm not sitting here looking at these. So actually, I did not trade this one. And I'm looking at it. There wasn't anything here, so I didn't trade this one. So I should have actually watched the thing before I go there. Sorry. But I actually did not end up trading this one, probably because it was in an uptrend and actually the Qs weren't going down and the Qs weren't perfectly set up with it. Now that I'm actually looking at the recording, even though it would have worked, the Qs were going in the weren't going in the same direction. So I'm looking for both the Qs and Google to be set up the exact same. If both the Qs and Google aren't set up exactly the same, I'm not taking this strategy. So point being, if you're trading a Mark 1, know your limit 8, any other strategy out there. Oh, this is annoying. So I'm going through my video and I must have hit one of the hotkeys that changed the, yeah, I don't have any of my recording from the afternoon. So it actually cuts off right about, it actually cuts off right as the market starts going down. So sorry guys. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show them. So I accidentally didn't change hotkeys for my recording software and it goes to a black screen. So I don't have the recording of trading the afternoon. That's a pain. That was some stuff I wanted to go over there. But psychologically, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for something. I'm not just sitting here aimlessly thinking about making money, thinking about finding the next level, thinking about like, oh, I got to get another 1,000, I got to get this, or I got to take a trade. Like if I'm sitting here, I have to have a purpose for me. If I don't have a purpose, if I don't have something I'm looking for, something I'm hunting for, that I know I can make money in, then I'm not going to win. Then I'm going to start losing, I'm going to start giving back, I'm going to get chopped around. But if I start setting rules for myself, and if I start waiting for something, if I start like waiting for levels to hit, and CT talked about in the video we did on Friday about putting the lines on your charts and all that kind of stuff. And Geronimo talks about these intraday levels in the market, in the VTF, in the Newsbeat room. And there's all these different indicators that we have and that we use about like different intraday levels and stuff. If you're sitting here all day, if you're going to sit here, if you're going to trade, you need to train yourself to trade intelligently. Peacock traded today, and I haven't watched this video yet, but he came back from 20,000 down, probably being selective with his trades, and I'm sure he took some that were not. I haven't looked at them, but he was choosing his trades like, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for something specifically, and he's constantly, you know, making good trades, making good trades, making good trades, finding something that's working, honing in on something that he knows that he can do that's going to work. If he would have done that, and I'm not knocking him, this is for me too, and this is why I started changing my approach to early morning trading. If I would have done that, or if he would have done that today, then that $20,000 of that focus wouldn't have been making back what he lost. It would have been $20,000 in the bank. That means if you can do that, and this is what I started telling myself, like, hey, if I'm down 10K and I come back 5K or I come back 8K and I still have a red day, that means I can make $8,000 a day. So what am I doing to lose? Am I trying to Rambo stuff? Am I coming out trying to aggressively play something? Am I actually looking for the strategies? Because we all say we know the C strategies. Like, yeah, I know the C strategies. Yeah, I can do them. You know, but do you? And I don't mean just like, do you know them? Obviously, yes. But if you look at a chart, when you're looking at them, are you like, no, this is good, this isn't good. It's not good, I'm not going to take it. I'm waiting for this. Are we actually trying to trade something, or are we just trying to trade? Are we trying to just throw money at something that looks like it's going in a direction? I'm not talking about catching like, oh, the market's tanking, or like when FOMC, as soon as like Geronimo came on the mic and was like, rates unchanged, I was like, buy. And I was like in. The second he said rates remain unchanged, I was in. I had calls and puts ready right next to each other. He said it. I clicked it right away and I was in. Like that is that second. I was waiting for him to say something. So I had something in mind I was looking for. I am working on right now when the market is good and I'm on a hot streak, and this hot streak is going to go down, but I'm on a very good hot streak right now, and it's going to stop. And if on days like today I trade unintelligently, it's going to catch up on me when things are not good, and there's not going to be a way for me to come back. But if I start right now when I'm on a hot streak creating good habits instead of leaning into my like whatever I'm seeing or whatever I'm doing, and I just make sure I'm trading intelligently and not making more money, and not like, man, this is working, and just taking dumb trades that might just be, you know, because the trend is working, you're making money. But I'm actually trading consistently and trading intelligently to where I'm proud of the trades I took, because I'm thinking more about taking good trades and finding the trades, like the Qs and the Google double setups on the 1 minute and the 2 minutes. Those are money when you have a level to enter off of, like an intraday level. Like I'm really upset that I hotkeyed my camera away, and I'm gonna take those hotkeys off that recording thing, to show what you could do there, because I had some really good plays later in the day. Just waiting for those setups. If you're waiting for a Mark 5, or just a 5-minute breakout, or a 15-minute, or an hourly rejection, like it goes up to the hour, instead of breaking out it pulls down, and you actually start looking to trade something instead of just looking to trade, start working on that. Even in the first 20 minutes, you sit down, you come down here. For me, you know, now we're pushing my kids' morning bedtime back some, so they're not going to bed until like 9:45. So they're up like 15 minutes, and they're kind of tired and fussy. Like after I'm trading, they're down here behind me, or they're over here and the sitter has them. But sometimes I've got them in my lap, depending on how fussy they are. So I have a distraction that's literally like right here. So I can't just be like getting frustrated and getting upset and being like, oh, like, like I've got a kid here. So I'm having to be like, okay, what am I looking for? What's a trade I think I can take? Let's wait. And earlier it was that Tesla. I'm going to play the first green takes red in Tesla. I'm going to wait. I'm going to trade the first. I'm going to wait for it to hit the 8. I'm going to buy it right off the 8, and I'm going to give it, you know, I'm going to let it go up, and I'm just going to sell it, take a quick profit. It's going back up. It's failing the level. Like it hit VWAP, and now it's going back down. All right, I'm going to short it here. And I start becoming very selective instead of trying to bend into stuff or being like, hey, Google's really strong, I'm going into this. Oh, this name is running, I'm going into this. Amazon looks like it's really weak. Okay, let's look at Amazon. What's Amazon doing? You know, how's it doing? Is it like Amazon today I think was really weak, and I made some little bit of money in that, shorting it a couple of times. It's like, okay, it broke down, it came back up, it hit VWAP, you can probably short it, and the stochastics, look, stochastics were set up for a short. Who would have thought? Yeah, on both time frames actually. So you've got like, okay, I'm watching Amazon. Amazon looks really weak. Where's a location I can short it? Like, it doesn't matter if I miss the trade. Like, even down here, like I could have said, I want to short it at VWAP here. Let's zoom in. I'll show you an example of what I mean. let's say Amazon's going down, and like, I want to short Amazon. It pops up, and in your head right here, you're saying, I want to take it when it hits VWAP. It goes down, and it starts going down. Maybe you take it here. Maybe you want to actually follow your rules because the stochastics are set up, and you do have a 1 minute break, and it's going back up, and you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to take this one, and you take it. But what if you didn't take it? And you're like, I didn't want to take it. I was fine. I wanted it to hit VWAP. I don't care if I miss it. I'm going to wait. Oh, hey, look, it's popping back up. Okay, I'm going to wait for it to get near VWAP. Okay, it went near VWAP. The 1 minute stochastic setup. If I go back to this one, the 1 minute stochastic setup again, and it did hit VWAP on this chart. I don't know why those are different, but it did hit VWAP here on the 2 minute chart. So, okay, I'm going to play the down move in it now, and I'm going to try it at this level because that's what I was looking for. That was the play I was looking for, was Amazon to go down to retrace the VWAP, and then I wanted to short it. So you start actually looking for something to take. Doing something like that is going to help you not tilt early, not get red early to where you're making up your day. If you just come in and you don't know how Tesla, Amazon, any other name, Facebook, whatever you want to trade is trading, and you don't have any levels you're looking for, like day high or day low breaks or moving averages or anything else, and you're just guessing, you're no better than just pulling the lever at a slot machine. You might as well just go to Vegas. Let me get a drink real quick. So as traders, and as growing traders, if at this point in your trading career, like, you can make money, and you know you have the ability to make money, you should be able to sit back and be like, okay, sorry, talking takes out of me. I know I'm a good trader. I know I can make money, and I know I make money. I know I have some hard days and I lose. I don't do much different on the days when I win and I lose. So what is different? Well, the market's better. Could I have identified or known that these market conditions were not conducive to my style of trading, and I needed to be pickier about my trades on those days if I would have started off a little bit slower? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to start trying to do that. Right now, while I'm green on the week, the month, the day, instead of just trading stupid because the market's good, instead of just going after something, I am going to actually trade intelligently. I'm going to actually find reasons to take trades and reasons not to take trades. And I'm going to become selective. I'm going to become like a gator or a sniper or something else, a hunter, a predator. You're a predator stalking your prey. And the prey is the next good trade, not the next $1,000, not the next money, not the next P&L you're going to post, but the next good trade. And I'm stalking the market, names that I like, looking for something that is giving me an edge or an entry. And for a 2 to 3 hour window, or 2 to 3 hours, 30 minutes, an hour, 15 minutes, there might be zero opportunities. But then the opportunity comes, and you know it's there because you've been looking for it. There it is. Perfect. It's set up, like Khan said, buy when the stochastics bottom out and sell when the stochastics are at the top. Your chance of success will be much greater. That's true. That's 100% true for all the names. I almost never, unless there's a hard trend, like if a name's going up and it's going down and there's a Mark 1, I almost never take them, or I take them with less size if the stochastics are pointing down, because there's less chance of winning if they're going against the direction you're trading. Doesn't mean it never works. It's just a generalization. And if you look at it here in Amazon, you could have shorted here. The stochastics are at the bottom. You just buy it. It goes back up. You think it's going back to the 21 or VWAP, and you turn around and short it again. You can just play stochastics if you learn and you watch them. But find edges. Find something you're looking for and start taking it. Start hunting it like a predator who's looking for a trade. And you got to be cool with just sitting there and resting and be like, hey, there's nothing. Or CT's like, I'm going to take the dogs to the park. I'm going to go do this. I go to jiu-jitsu, the gym, chiropractor. I come back. I sit down. Like, I look again. But if you are just going to sit here looking all day, be looking for something. Don't just be looking for the next crazy breakout or breakdown. Look for something intraday. Look for something that you can find. Learn about the price action movement. Watch some of the tape move. Watch a 5-minute chart. See what you can start noticing in a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart. Maybe you see a bear wedge or a bear flag or bullish flag or something else setting up, and you're like, huh, this looks like if it broke down in the next 30 minutes, it could be a good trade. I'm going to keep this on my watch list. I'm going to put this here. It's towards the top of this line, like, let's see. I'm just trying to, you can say here, like, oh, Amazon flagging, it goes out, it failed this big, it sold off. This was FOMC, so this is just a random, if I'm over here looking at this chart, just a random thing. Oh, we had a green bar. You know what? I think it's going down. I'm watching for this is a 15-minute chart, and I'm just making the scenario up. I'm looking for the next 15-minute breakdown in Amazon. Like, I think if this level, this pivot level here breaks, I think we could really get a flush. All right, I'm going to watch that. And then you look for that, and you try to trade it. You find things like that to hunt and to look for during the day. That's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it with stochastics, and I sat there for like 15-20 minutes not taking anything, and then all of a sudden I had the perfect double Google, double triple Qs set up, and I took it and then I'm up 5-6 points. I'm like, I'm done. And if I can get 2 to 5 points per 15 minutes of sitting there a day, or even 30 minutes, you can make a living off that. Like, you don't necessarily need much more than that. If you can learn to be selective and you time your entries up with C strategies or the levels that are going on through the day, and that is how you train yourself during the easy times to be successful during the hard times. Because if all you do is bend into these strategies and your days are like this, like, yeah, you're green, yeah, you made 25 grand or whatever, but you're like this all day long. And yeah, you got lucky at the end because you were just bending into something and it happened to go in your direction because the market was going that way anyway, and you're just stubborn and you're holding it. It wasn't a good trade. It wasn't a good setup, but because the market was going, you made money in it. What happens when it's a hard day and you do the same thing? You're going to get wrecked and you blow out your account. Well, you didn't train yourself. You didn't spend the time when the market was good developing your strengths to become a better trader. You just leaned into the stupid crap that you were doing that, yeah, sure, it made you money, but all you did is you wrecked yourself mentally. And you didn't trade smart, and you were up 100% on your account, then back down, then back up, then back down, and you caught a big move, and maybe you logged out, maybe you didn't. But you weren't trading intelligently. You weren't growing as a trader. You weren't looking for things in different names that aren't the 3 names that we trade a lot. And you weren't looking at other stuff. Well, what happens in AMD? What happens in Facebook? What are these other names? Are there indicators that I can see that I can make it up there? How does Roku trade? What about Netflix? And you start looking at different things, finding different ways to scalp and to make money, and to, as a predator, find your prey. And you become a more dangerous, more aggressive, better predator, better trader. That's when I like to grow. That's when I like to try to get better, is when the times are good. That's the main thing I'm focusing on right now, because I know times are going to get hard. And the market's not going to just constantly be in this downward move when, for me, it's easy to make money. Eventually, it's going to be going sideways. It's going to be choppy for some days. And I have to not give back my days. I'm going to do that by being very selective early, by sizing down, taking some trades, leaning into things when I like it, but waiting for setups that I like. Even if I'm trying maybe to trade Tesla or Amazon, but I have noticed I lose more even in Tesla and Amazon when the stochastics are in the middle. And there's not really a breakout or a direction in the stochastics, and they're just kind of like in the middle, and the breakout's there. Like, on those moves, I lose more than on the moves when they're at the top or the bottom. So I've started to notice that. So I'm like, that's something I might like to kind of keep in my back pocket, because, maybe I just want to leave Amazon alone and not get chopped up and wait for it to catch up. And instead of like maybe winning, maybe losing, I wait for it to get up there and I have a 80%, 90% chance of winning. So know when you lose in trades and when you win in trades using these and other indicators. Well, you know, I don't do really good on 1-minute charts. Okay, let's trade 2-minute charts. Let's trade 5-minute charts. Find your edge and find your skill as a trader and start growing it and become better at it while the market is good. Just a little like practical, and I wanted to do this in the sense of kind of a practical way of doing it, and a practical thing I've been thinking about and putting time and thought into, and I'm doing it and talked about it because I want to help the guys that go and have those up and downs, because we all have those up and downs. So right now, if you're doing good, don't spend this time to tilt and be aggressive. Instead, spend this time to refine the skill of trading, to hone in on things that will make you better, to actually limit your trades and limit your bending into names. I wanted to test bending Google over the past 2 days to see if it's possible to make money doing it. And the only reason I'm bending it, or I did bend it today and the other yesterday, was so I could tell you guys if it's possible to bend or if it's worthwhile to bend when the setups aren't perfect. The answer is no. I probably gave back about 4 to 5 grand over the past 2 days, if not more, maybe less, testing if you can bend into Google. So you're welcome. I will receive, so if you don't like the video for any other reason, just like it because I've spent, probably, 3, 4, 5 grand test bending into names to see if it would work. It doesn't. I'm just letting you know. Now, if you want to do it yourself, you want to test it and lose money, or say that, hey, I can bend and make money, go for it. I'm telling you, I've tried it. It doesn't, and very rarely worked for me. I had about a 70% lose rate when I bent. So be cautious with that one, and you should kind of learn that with other names too. If you trade something, find and review your trades and journal your trades. What about this trade made it good? What about this trade did not make it good? And then start applying that to the other times when you trade. Yes, you will miss more trades, more breakouts and breakdowns if you start following more rules to when you're going to trade something. And yes, there's always time to break rules, but you'll also protect yourself and allow yourself to not blow up when the hard times come. And then there are times when you bend, like today, and you can go a little bit more aggressive in some names when some moves are happening. But all in all, don't go crazy wild when things are good. So a little question over in, and that's a practical, it's not as much a psychology as it is a practical use of the psychology. I think Friday we'll do some, week review and maybe a, kind of fireside chat and talk some more psychology and take a bunch of questions and do some other stuff. Maybe have a special guest or two on. So come hang out for that. No FOMO asked over in Discord, when you chase or bend, do you only consider a chase bend on live stretched bar versus chase new 1-minute breakout bar? So if there's a volume, how to say this? I hope this answers no FOMO, and I'm going to look and see if I can find something when FOMC happened. Was this? So FOMC happened. I wish I could recorded this. I would have showed it to you. This is a pop and a breakout. This is a one and done. I personally took this trade here. This is not a chase in my opinion. This is another strategy because you had this massive volume bar. It sat still for a second and then I got in to go. That's not a chase. A chase to me is when you miss a strategy. So a chase would be I enter here at the midpoint. So it's like instead of buying it here before it broke or as it broke, I bought up here. That's a chase. A bend would be there is no strategy or you're breaking most of the rules. So a bend would have been, let's go back to the beginning of the day in Tesla. Let's see, what's a bend? here. A bend in Tesla would have been taking the one of these trades, like trying to catch one of these breakouts. So the move happened. Let's say you caught this one when I called it. And then you took a front run loss, a front run loss, a front run loss, a front run loss. These are bends. There's no strategy. There's no C strategy. The stochastics are in the middle. So just as far as that indicator goes, there's no strategy here. No matter if they curl up or not, it's not at the bottom or the top. You've already had an 8 that tested, and it popped, and there's no increasing volume. So there's no extra volume on this 1 minute pop. So that means, and you have VWAP overhead. And the Qs aren't above day highs, and this isn't above day highs, and this pop didn't get you above day highs. So there's no strategy here. So it then bounced around and went sideways. If you took front run losses in here, you bent. You were bending into a name. You were throwing strategies and intelligent trades out the window, and you were just like, I'm going to catch it, and it's going to break up or break down. There was no strategy there to break up. There was no strategy there to go long. And if I look at a 2 minute chart, you could do the same thing. So looking at this is a bend. You say I'm going to take a green takes red. Green takes red is different because green takes red is just you buy every green takes red. So that one's a little bit less of a thing. So I'm not going to, it's more the 1 minute, and that's usually when people get lost. Once you get on higher time frames, you have a higher chance of winning if you take those strategies and setups. But you generally want it above the first 2 minute and all that fun stuff. Either way. So that is the difference. If I get a volume bar, like what happened later in the day in Tesla, it's not a bend to take the next strategy. Like, it's not a bend to take the next strategy that sets up. So it's just the next strategy, and that strategy fails or doesn't fail. A bend is no strategy. I think it's going up or down with no indicators necessarily pointing in your direction. Maybe some, but it's like a 50-50 thing. That's a bend. And, you know, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. One-Eyed Willie, now that I have TraderSync working with times and trades, it's super useful. Yes. TraderSync. If you're not journaling, CT, sorry. I meant to do this at the beginning of the show. If you guys hung out this long, why did I do that? In Discord, go into CRO Education. Chief Rotational Officer Education, right here in Discord. You will see, all of my videos. Yay! I get to watch all of Gator's videos. Go in there. You can watch all of my videos. You can find them. I post literally all of them. The second thing you will find is this. P&L Tracker. For anyone who's interested, we are going to open this up on the Google Docs. It has these. Let me move me out of the way. We have Monday, Tuesday. This is for the rest. This is for 4 weeks. P&L at 10 a.m., P&L at 11 a.m., P&L at 4. I've done this every day since CT posted it. If you don't remember, just start here. Or go back if you do remember what it was and put this in. And then at the end, we're hoping to collect them. And you can take your name off of it if you want to, or do whatever you want. You could change the numbers if you feel bad. I don't know. But take your name. We won't show it who it is. And we want to see if there's a trend with people. Meaning, like, they make all their money in the first 30 minutes and the first hour or so. We're recording this and we're doing it so we can't lie to ourselves. And we're like, hey, at this, every day at 10 a.m. I'm up, and then after that I give all my money back. Hey, by 11 I'm up and I give all my money back. I'm only making money in the afternoon. So go in there, use this. Please fill it out if you would like to. I'm going to remind everybody for the rest of the month whenever I remember to do these shows, or whenever I'm doing these shows. So it's in CRO Education. That's also where all my videos are posted, and anything we do as the Chief Rotation Officers, education-wise, will go in this room. Members links is for other members to post links in. It's not generally where we post things. So use that and track yourself. Start identifying trends in your trading. Like One-Eyed Willie said. He said that he's using TraderSync, whether it's TraderView, TraderSync. use a journaling software. Find, or a PDF or Excel. Find a way to journal your trades and to find, whether you go back and you just look at different times a day, you look at your big losses. What I personally do when I'm reviewing it is I just go into Fidelity, I just look at all my trades, I open up that window, I scroll, I look at my biggest winners and losers, and I look at where they were, what was right, what was wrong. If I have a string of losers, I look at what was right and what was wrong. I've noticed it's when the stochastics are in the middle I'm losing. As far as like scalping and stuff, that I have better chances of when it's high and low. Little things like that I'm starting to notice, and I'm starting to apply to my trading. So I highly recommend journaling. Highly, highly recommend some type of journaling. It doesn't have to be excessive. Don't spend all night and ignore your family and your wife and everything else doing this. Just find a way to journal. Graph. What's up, man? No, I do not pay any attention to the 5-minute setup. So I notice when it's set up, but I don't pay attention to it generally. I prefer it to be going in the direction that I'm trading, and if it is about to curl up and I get everything working up or down at the same time, that's like triple conviction on my trade. If a triple curl happens with a level for me to enter on, like something, I'm like all about it. Generally speaking, I like to trade the stochastics like at the 5-minute in the direction it's going, up or down. You need to compare it yourself and see, compare it where on the charts. You talking to me, or are you just talking in there in Discord? Blademan, yeah. So compare it yourself and notice, hey, are all my losses coming when the stochastic on the 5-minute is going down and I'm trying to catch along? So you should kind of check that out yourself. Like in Tesla right here, you could say this is the 5-minute chart. Like maybe you thought Tesla was going to go higher here. So you could have been like, y'all can see this all right. So you could have been like, man, I think Tesla's going to go higher. It's going to break out now. But the 5-minute stochastic's curling down. The 2-minute stochastic's curling down. And guess what? The 1-minute stochastic is curling down. So you shouldn't have really been going long. Once the 1 minute broke down, you're like, I'm going to leave it alone. And then maybe you kept trying to catch a breakout or something, but Tesla kept going down. So at no point in here would it have been easy to catch a long. Like, you probably just would have given all your money away. But then the stochastic actually curled up on the 5-minute, and look at the difference in the 2-minute and the 1-minute chart. Oh, where's my 1-minute chart? Oh, that's the end of the day. Sorry. Here we go. It would have been the same over here. So look at the difference in the 1-minute chart when the 5-minute stochastic's going up. So let me move my picture out of the way. Just notice this. So this is a quick reference for what direction I want to play. 5-minute stochastics going up. Look at the right here is where it starts. So right here, the 5-minute stochastic curls up and starts going up. You also have that coinciding with the 1-minute 200 and nothing on the 2-minute. But it's going up, and there are moves to be made. If you were scalping Tesla long, I'm pretty sure I made money in here. No, I didn't, because I went to the chiropractor. I did not make money in here. Never mind. But it was going in that upward direction. Then the 5-minute stochastic curled down, and it went sideways for a little bit, and the moves were probably a little bit more choppy. And then, that is what it is. So I do use the 5-minute. I do look at it, and it gives me an overall general idea of what I should be looking at on a longer term basis. It's not like man, if this isn't set up, the 5-minute, I'm not taking this trade. But it's like that caution, like, I don't really like this. So sometimes when you guys ask me, like, hey, Gator, do you like this name? Do you like this right here? And I look at it, and usually what I'm looking at is day high, day lows, 2-minute levels and stuff, where the moving averages are at. But also quickly, I just look at the 5-minute stochastic, the 2-minute, the 1-minute, and I can just be like, no, I don't like it. Whether or not it works, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't have my pride tied up in being right or wrong. I'm looking at it, I'm just like, nah, stochastic's going in the wrong direction. I don't like it long. Might work. And I'm on to the next thing. That's how I scan all my charts. And I have my watch list here. And I can just sit here and do this, you know, hit a button. Do I like anything? No. 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 And I can kind of do that and just look at different things. And then like, oh, huh, this name looks good. And then I just move it over to my 9 chart. And I just put it over here off my watch list. Because, you know, I have both of these up at the same time. Like, I'm going to put that here. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to look for the next time it hits this level. Or maybe it's going up and the stochastics are up and I see all of them start to curl down. And I'm scrolling through my watch list. Huh. There might be a reversal here happening. Is there like a daily trigger? Because remember, if you're using what CT talks about, look, it's hitting this line. Huh. It's hitting a line. All the stochastics are curling down. The market looks like it hit a pivot point and it's going down. I might try to short this. Hunting. Being a predator. Finding ways in different parts to make money in the day. And the thing about that is there's a lot of trading that doesn't happen, or there's a lot of stuff in there that, there's a lot of trading. You have to learn not to trade if you're going to sit here all day. Hunting for something until you find that something is going to allow you to sit trades out and to sit areas out and allow you to build consistency and confidence in yourself as a trader. And as someone who, I'm looking forward to watching Peacock's video. Sorry, I sat on my foot. And see how he came back. But someone who can come back if you are down, or just can't get, or you just don't get down at all, and you trade intelligently. You look for trades, you take the trades, and then you're up 20 grand instead of coming back from 20 grand. And I've had to do it both ways. Like it's harder to actually come back sometimes because of the mental stress and fatigue. So, but they've been helping me, guys. So a little bit of psychology, practical psychology, not as much the kind of out there, not out there, but the, you know, far stuff like that you kind of have to grasp on. But just practicalness is try to think of the market and yourself like a hunter who's looking for something. Find your edges, learn more slowly, build up your tools in your repertoire, find things that can help you make money, trade intelligently, identify strengths and weaknesses in yourself and in your trading, and adapt and change them, especially when it's good. I can't tell you how important it is. I'm sure CT Rose and others can attest to this, and then I'll get off, that you when the times are good, that's when you create your habits. And if when the times are really good, you're not storing up grain for the winter, and you're not preparing yourself for what could come and for the bad times that are going to come, you're going to lose all the capital that you've built and all the mental capital and everything else because you have not been preparing when trading was easy to be a better trader and help yourself grow. So if you haven't been doing that, and if you're not doing that, when you're trading good, it's going to help you. It's going to help you get better. It's going to help you improve. Do that. Focus on doing that. Locate strategies. Don't just, oh, this is a ARC one, or this is a... Know why you're taking a trade. Understand what you're trying to have happen. The whole thing doesn't have to happen. Just take the money, make smart trades, build up those wins, get those base hits, build up your consistency, build up your confidence in yourself, and hope. Yeah, I see you. I'll send it to you as soon as as soon as the show's done. I'll send you the link. And get better now, or get better whenever you're doing good. So when times get hard, you have that firm foundation that you can sit there, you can wait, you can hunt through the day. You sit there and you're like, I don't have to trade this. I'm going to wait. Watch me catch this trade. Watch me post that I just made, whatever. Let's wait. Okay, now I see. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. And then who knows? Maybe you get a breakout and you can just bend it to some stuff and have some fun. So practical thoughts along with a little bit of psychology, a little bit of trade review. Sorry, I would have reviewed some in the afternoon, but I hotkeyed myself out of my camera. And I'm going to change those hotkeys when I get off here so it doesn't happen again. And I'm going to start, I think, doing we'll see. I want to do some 30-minute trade reviews in the morning and stuff that I'll just post. I'm not going to talk through them live on here, or maybe I'll do it in Discord as a special thing for guys who are in there, but I have to do it during the day. So some different stuff. Yeah, I can look at that, Con. I can do that now, or I can do it later, just because I've been on for a little over an hour. I'm about to go to bed. Gotta get some sleep. Let me know if you want me to look at it right now. You can send it either whatever it is in Discord, or I can hit it up later if you want to send me the time. What time is it? The trade that you're talking about, triple Qs. Okay. Yeah, just DM it. Yep, just DM it. I'll check it out. I'll take a look at it before the market tomorrow, maybe in a few minutes tonight. So I'll get back to you. Yeah, just hit me up in Discord. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. If you did stay this long, again, you know, like all that kind of fun stuff, I appreciate it. We'll have a show. Thanks, Little Corpser. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you guys. We'll have a show Friday night. Hope to have a special guest on. I'll let you know if we do. Either way, fireside chat then. Trade intelligently tomorrow. You know, let's keep doing let's keep growing, guys. See you all tomorrow.